we're gonna run you through positional breathing, all right? So big thing here with all these recovery pieces is when we're breathing, inhale through the nose, 3 seconds, exhale through the mouth, roughly 6 seconds, okay? I'm gonna inhale through the nose for 3 seconds. I'm gonna fill up my abdomen, both sides, my waist, my lower back, so 360 degrees of filling up, so expanding, okay? Exhale through my mouth, think about blowing out the candle, ribs coming down slightly, okay? First up, it's gonna be wall 90-90. All that is referring to is 90 degrees in the knees, 90 degrees in the hips. The entire flat of my feet into the wall, 4 out of 10 pressure. It helps to turn on my posterior chain a little bit. It sets my pelvis under my rib cage a little bit better, and it helps me keep my my back rather, entirely flat on the ground. You're not arching here, you're flat into the ground, okay? So hands on top of my belly or my abdomen. When I inhale, they should rise a bit. When I exhale, they should come down a bit. Ribs coming down, I blow out the candle right above my head, okay? So I'm gonna inhale, and then exhale. Next up is wall 90-90 with hip internal rotation. With hip internal rotation in this position, you'll see the foot come out to the side of it. All I'm trying to get is a little bit more internal rotation in this right hip right now, okay? So when I inhale, same exact principles. I fill up the belly, inhale 3 seconds through the nose. As I exhale is when I bring the femur into internal rotation. You'll see that by the foot coming out to the side, and then I inhale to bring it back. Exhale to bring it out, inhale to bring it back. So use the breathing as your guide. Other foot stays into the wall just as you would normally, okay? And you should be able to get a bit more range each time, okay? Next up, wall 90-90 with alternating overhead flexion. So same thing here. I'm gonna inhale to keep my arm in place to start, exhale to bring it back, inhale to bring it up, okay? Exhale to bring it back, inhale to bring it up. That first inhale is just a set. After that, all the inhales help bring the arm back. So again, same position. Arms above my head. Everything should stay the same in what's happening in the rib cage, okay? Don't substitute arching and dumping out the rib cage to get more shoulder overhead flexion. That's not what we're looking for here, okay? Keep the rib cage down and get as far as your shoulder will allow you to go. So inhale just a set. Exhale to bring it back. And then inhale to bring it back to start. And then I alternate. So it's gonna be inhale, okay, last up is going to be 90-90 floor slides. Okay, so wall 90-90 floor slides. I exhale to slide up, inhale to bring them back down. Okay, so all it is going to be floor slides. Big thing again is keeping the lower back on the ground. Don't substitute rib cage and dumping it out just to get more shoulder range of motion. Not what we're looking for. Rib cage down the entire time. Only use what you have access to. Next up, we have prone turtle. So in this one, big thing to focus on is hands under shoulders, knees under hips, toes driving forward. To start the drill, Okay, I'm gonna take an inhale just to set. Okay, so think what I want to see is I want to see the middle of my back right about here to rise up like a camel hump. Okay, I'm gonna inhale, filling up. As I exhale, I gently press tension to the ground and try to rise up into that turtle shell, that camel hump. As I exhale, almost like I'm pushing away from the ground. Get about 2 or 3 of those in. Once the abs feel like, okay, I've had enough, we want to back off. 2 or 3 counts essentially as 1 rep, or for a short period of time, and then we continue the set there, okay? So I inhale just to set the tone to start. Okay, so inhale, and then exhale, inhale, next up, quadruped rocking. Set the knees just a little bit wider than hip width. Okay, keeping the back flat, so I'm not arching, I'm not flexing too hard, I'm keeping it relatively flat through, all the way through. Okay, I'm going to use my hands as the guiders to push me back. Okay, what I want to focus on is not letting the toes get into that position. All right, because I don't want this to turn into an ankle mobility drill. I want you to keep the toes there as your anchor, and they tell you how far back you can go. Think of it as I'm doing a squat right now. So imagine the floor is here, and I'm just squatting, okay? So keep that anchor in place. So I'm going to inhale, keep the core engaged. Exhale as I push back. Inhale to bring it forward. We have up the Bretzel 1.0 here, okay? So it's a very challenging position to get into, so take your time with it, okay? Work up to the progression that fits for you, all right? So I'm gonna take my right knee, I'm gonna bend it over like that. I'm gonna use my opposite left hand to cuff the inside or the outside of the knee rather, okay? Take the other foot and the other hand to make them meet. If it's hard to grab this, use a strap or a band just to help you assist in grabbing it, okay? All I'm gonna try to do now is I'm trying to separate these guys as best as possible, okay? I'm gonna get a stretch in the front of my left quad, left hip, okay? And I may get a stretch in the right glutes here, piriformis, okay? All I'm gonna do is, you're gonna inhale, fill up, exhale, try to rotate and extend, okay? Eyes follow the direction you're going in, all right? So set yourself in place. Last up, we have inchworm walk up. So I'm just going to use a small box. So it's just like your regular inchworm, only that your hands are going to be on the box. Anywhere from roughly 6 to 12 inches should suffice. So the goal here is we don't want to feel numbness, tingling, or pain in the hamstrings. We want to do it to comfort level to the point where we get a little bit of a stretch back there. And the breathing, again, is helping to guide us. Okay? So I'm going to start in just an outstretched position. I'm going to inchworm forward. And then once I get there is when I use my inhale, exhales, filling up the belly, and using the exhale to help me get a little bit lower, okay? I may get to the point where I don't need the box anymore, where you want to start with it. So I'm going to inchworm forward, get as far as I can, and then use the box for the first few, and then if you don't need it, you can kind of scrap it to the side. And then come back up. Usually 2 or 3 breaths, and then you restart, okay? Making sure that we leave just a little bit of bend in the knees. Not too much, just like a micro bend, okay?